Hi, I'm Tim Belcher, and this is Tristan. And today we're going to be making some resin inlaid V-carved signs, or plaques. And we're going to be making these as thank you gifts to Tristan's teachers. Tristan's in 6th grade this year, and this year was sort of a breakout year for him in school. And a large part of that has to do with how good and how supportive his teachers were. So again, a resin inlaid V-carved sign. This is how I made it.
No, this is how we made it.
We started by cleaning up after the old projects, and then each tool I took Tristan to, I made sure to explain where all the sharp and cutty parts were located. I had a large piece of lumber left over from the countertop project. I was aiming to resaw about an inch from it to end up with a final thickness of about 3/4. And on to the planer to reach that final thickness and make sure the board was flat. A little more cleaning and prep for the CNC. Then we clamped and measured our stock for the design and layout and found center. Tristan did a good job helping me center that bit. Then on to the design. The school logo is fairly simple, but we knew we wanted to riff off of the design, and this is what we came up with. A bit cleaner, and we'll show off more of the maple and the resin. We laid them out on our measured lumber so we could carve all 5 at once. Then a little more instruction on the CNC, loading files and running the programs we had designed. Then it was off and running. First the V-bit for all the details. Then a 1/4 inch end mill for the flat areas and actual profile cuts. Tristan did a good job removing the tabs with a chisel, and then we did our first round of sanding. At first taking turns and then just deciding to work together. Tristan did really well working with many of these tools for the first time. I got rid of most of the dust, and then it was time to move on to the resin inlay. I spent a bit of time explaining the resin process, the resin, the hardener, the chemical reactions that occur, as well as explaining how the vacuum chamber worked to remove the excess air. This resin had about a 45-minute pot time, which was plenty to allow us to take our time. You can see here Tristan working the camera. This is a great way to pour resin in small, controlled amounts, these cheap Amazon condiment bottles. I tested the amount on the first one and then poured Tristan a bottle, and we did a level flood coat. You can just catch Mom showing up there for the fun part. A few passes with the torch to remove any bubbles. And this is what we get. After 2 days or so, it was time to sand away the resin to leave just the inlay. I think it's important that we raise our kids to be polite, respectful, and even thankful. I'm happy he chose this idea for his first project in the shop. Almost as happy as I am with the guidance and support his teachers gave him this year. And that's what this is about, just a small thank you for all their hard work. We sanded up to 220 grit, and at this point the resin is still cloudy. Then we add the poly, and the resin becomes crystal clear, really showing off that detail of the 3D cuts. No matter what I make, there's always this point where you go from a rough to a fine finish. This really good feeling about the work you put in and the project itself. I wonder if that's how his teachers feel. In the end, this was a really fun project to do with Tristan, and I had some of the best time I've had in the shop in a long time. If you like this, please hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be doing a lot more complex resin inlay work soon in the channel, as well as some larger builds coming very shortly. Thanks for watching.